Everyone's looking at these posters of 2 gay people being hung in Iran. That is morally unacceptable. It's not the kind of world we would want to live in. But for the people who are opposed to that, we have to take responsibility as people living in this country to oppose what the Bush administration is doing here around the world. If you're outraged by Ahmadinejad, you better be there tomorrow at the UN when Bush is speaking and be outraged by a government that is responsible for killing 1 million people in Iraq. To be outraged by a government that is torturing Muslim men in Guantanamo Bay. You should be outraged by a president who his first veto was to get rid of stem cell research on religious grounds. A president who is for banning abortion among women.
The very thing that George Bush and the Zionist students and the pro-war students are condemning in Iran, the Islamic fundamentalism, is the very thing they are giving birth to in Iraq with their decimation of that country, and they're fueling first of Shia, then of Sunni religious fanatics. It's the very thing the U.S. is fueling in Afghanistan. The U.S. is hypocrites and murderous hypocrites when they speak.
People that they kill?
We are, of course, we're against the lynching of gay people. We have been against the regime of Islamic fundamentalism, but what strengthens Islamic fundamentalism in the world? The biggest recruiting ground they have gotten has been George Bush's illegal, unjust, immoral war against Iraq. We refuse to choose between Nick World and jihad. We refuse to choose between a country that lynches gay people, that lynches women who are not virgins. We refuse to choose between Sharia law and a war for empire that has claimed 1 million Iraqi lives and is preparing for a new war against Iran, preparing a new war against Iraq. The U.S. backed Iran and Iraq as they killed each other. The U.S. backed both Iran and Iraq when they killed each other. They don't give a fuck about Islamic fundamentalism. They're done with the challenge. They're done with the brutality.
Hitler's issue, not the Bush. Hitler's issue. Don't hide in the sand. Hitler is here.
He needs a different way. This country has to stop the crime pushing our name by the U.S. government. And we have to support the people of Iran when they rise up to resist the revolution against their own country. You do not liberate people by destroying their country. And what's the country? What's the one country in the world that has used nuclear weapons on Bush? It's the United States. What's the one country that has refused to rule out using nuclear weapons today? The United States. You don't have to pick between George Bush's crusades and
We're getting out this message that the real nuclear threat is Bush and the system he represents. And that the people, the greater danger to the people of the world right now is represented by the country that actually owns nuclear weapons and has used them on civilians before. And we're also saying that we aren't going to pick between Bush and Ahmadinejad and what they respectively represent. We need to bring forward something different. Humanity needs another way. And we're out here to proclaim the possibility of that and to point people toward it. Because we're not going to pick between 2 outmoded and reactionary options for humanity. U.S. imperialism and Islamic fundamentalism in whatever form. You want to talk about Islamic fundamentalism? Talk about the Taliban and how the U.S. supported it for years. Talk about how the U.S. is aligned with Saudi Arabia and how you never hear about, you would never have this kind of protest and outrage against an Islamic fundamentalist dictator who this country wasn't planning a war against right now. This amounts to war cries being put out, and we have to send a different message to the people of Iran, of this country and the world today, that our choices are not Bush and Ahmadinejad.